Welcome to the Engineers Hub podcast, where engineers come to connect, learn, grow, and get inspired. On every episode, we will be interviewing engineers, managers, technical experts, and industry leaders from various disciplines to share their stories and experience, uncover various engineering career paths, and inspire engineers to do more and be more. This is your host, Mamadou Jallo. Let's get started. Hello. This is your host, Mamadou Jallo. I am so excited to be starting this podcast. This is something that came to me about almost 2 years ago now. I think towards the start of the year 2019. But at the time, I was in the middle of finishing up my bachelor's degree at UMBC, and I also had a lot of things going on, so I knew that I didn't really have the time and couldn't handle doing this and doing the logistic of having guests on here. So 2 years later, we are finally launching the podcast, and I couldn't be more excited. And I want to begin by thanking all of you for actually tuning into this podcast. And I know that there's a lot of things that you could be doing right now, but hopefully this is going to be valuable for me as well as for all of you guys who are listening out there. And if there's something that you want to add onto this podcast, or you have feedback, or you'd like to come on as a guest, I highly encourage you to reach out to me. Whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on through my website, or whether it's through Instagram. Just reach out to me, okay? And this is episode 1. So for this episode, I wanted to quickly introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, tell you about my background, where I'm from, and kind of what inspired me to start this podcast. And then I also discuss the flow of the podcast and how what every episode is going to entail. I want you guys to listen and make sure that this is something that you're excited for. This is something that you're looking forward to. Make sure that it's something that matches what you're looking for. So about me, my name's Mamadou Aliou Jallo. That is my full name. You may tell from the accent, or you may not. Originally, I'm from Guinea, which is a country in West Africa. I was born there, and I grew up there for the first 13 years of my life. And then I came over here in the US. My mother was already here, and my family was already here. So I came here and I started high school in ninth grade, and went through high school here in the United States. And then from graduating from high school, I went to community college at the time because I really didn't know what I wanted to do, or what I wanted to pursue. However, somewhere along the way during my first year of college doing general studies, I discovered engineering, and I was always good in the STEM fields and problem solving, solving math equations. So all of those things, and the fact that engineering is a challenging discipline, encouraged me to go towards the engineering field. Ended up deciding on mechanical engineering because it was so broad, and you could go anywhere really with a mechanical engineering degree, depending on your background. So I leaned toward mechanical engineering. Um, uh, First 3 years of college, I studied at Community College, Baltimore County. I got my Associate Science degree in engineering, with a focus in mechanical engineering. And then I transferred to the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, where I finished up my studies. I graduated with my Bachelor of Science degree in mechanical engineering back in when I think this is 2000. I think 19, summer 2019. I don't remember. Time goes by so fast. And from there, I started, after graduation, I started working as an application engineer. I worked as an application engineer for a year, and then transitioned to my current role as a project engineer in the miscellaneous metals construction industry. So I do a lot of now project management and procurement and bidding and quotation and team team coordination, project coordination, pretty much. And it's something that I enjoy doing. It's something that I love doing, and I wake up and look forward to it every single day, every single work day. So I'm really blessed to be able to pursue something that I really love doing and that I enjoy doing, that I would actually do even if I'm not getting paid. So it really is a blessing. And what fascinates me about the engineering industry is, and the engineering discipline, is that you can really do anything that you want with your degree. Just so far into my engineering discipline, I have seen engineers doing so many amazing things, just spread throughout the world, throughout various disciplines, throughout various industries. Right? It's just beyond my imagination. The things that I've seen, the things that I've been exposed to through networking and or documentaries, or going to events. It just amazes me to see um, the number of things engineers are involved in. So that's kind of like what excited me and encouraged me to start this podcast. I really want to be able to, on every episode, bring engineers in all sorts of industries to kind of come and talk about what it is that they do, and how they get to doing that, and what they like about it. And also, at the end of every episode, we're going to ask them a series of questions, more so for students who may uh, find that path interesting or attractive. We're gonna ask them questions to hopefully give idea, or guide them for how they can kind of get into that same profession, whether it's in the food industry, whether it's in the power transmission industry, whether it's in the aviation, whether it's in construction, whether it's in mining or automotive industry. It's just, I'm just naming a few of the disciplines, whether it's in the aerospace, so it's just, or AI, or computing. It's just so much, so broad. It's I cannot even name it all, and I don't know all the various things myself. So, with that being said, that is really the main goal of this podcast. And every episode, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to bring on here a fellow engineer, and just to talk about themselves and their background and their story. And hopefully, we get to know them and also get to connect and link up. That is the name behind the podcast, Engineers Hub, right? It's supposed to be a hub where people are gonna. The podcast is meant to be as a hub where people are gonna be able to come in and kind of like build their own network of, build their own community. So connect, and hopefully this is not gonna be a national thing, but actually international. So beyond the United States, where we're gonna go ahead and try and bring people from other parts of the world, whether it's in uh, down in Mexico, or up in Canada, across the Atlantic Ocean, Europe, and Africa, Asia. We really want to make this an international podcast, and to reach as many people as we can, and connect with as many fellow engineers as we can. And hopefully, we're going to learn something along the way, and grow as a result, and perhaps discover something or learn something that we could have never fathomed. So if you have feedback, questions, or you would like to come on the podcast as a guest, uh, definitely would love to. So if you do something cool, really cool, with your engineering degree, reach out to us, man. Really, really do, or sis, reach out to us, and we'll see how we can make it happen. How we can bring you on as a guest. Um, if you enjoy the podcast, make sure that you're sharing it. Send it to your fellow engineers, students who may be aspiring to be engineers, as well as connect with us. We are on LinkedIn. Follow the page, Engineers Hub Podcast, on Instagram, and connect with us. Probably gonna be posting this episode on YouTube as well, so you can find us through YouTube, and leave reviews, and also connect to the newsletter if we have announcements, or if there are networking opportunities, so that you are first to find out. So you can get to see what is out there and what are the opportunities that may come your way. And again, thank you for this. I'm really excited. This is a journey for myself, and hopefully, You are going to stick around and on this journey with me. All right, have a great week, and I'll see you next week.